Welcome back to Cool Times Podcast. We talk all things cool about the cold storage construction industry. And joining us today, the lovely Kristin Westover. How are you?
Good. How are y'all doing?
We are good.
We're doing good. We're out here celebrating the March Women in
it's a week.
It's a week.
But we don't agree. It
Women
should be
in
a month.
construction. We do the whole month of March, and we were. I remember talking with Jenna about this, and we're like, we need to get Kristin on the show.
Yeah.
I tried to get you on the show last year. I did.
I know we've been talking for a long
I know.
time,
Mhm.
but I love seeing you guys everywhere, and it's fun because we get to work together on projects too. So now it's full circle moment. So thanks for inviting me.
Thank
Yeah,
for
you
being
bet.
here. Awesome.
We get a lot of requests for roofing, so it fits. It's perfect, and it's
Love
so
that.
important in cold storage.
Just a little bit.
Well, and we know it's that roof to wall interface is where all of the problems can happen. So making sure that we're in step together, it's really important.
Mhm.
That is accurate. So, Kristin, your bio is amazing, by the way. I didn't know you were a civil engineer, and her bio is literally civil engineer turned cold storage specialist with a background in building envelope consulting and roofing systems. She works nationally with owners, contractors, and designers to improve the performance of cold storage facilities.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does. You're hustling. I always see you at these conferences. You're hustling.
Reporting live from Boston today.
Yeah. It's fact. Yeah. You're at a trade show in the Northeast. Yeah.
The Boston Seafood Show.
Love that. And that's a good show?
It seems like it's a good show. Yeah. So there's all of the usual suspects here. And I think we've talked about this before. This is what I know I love about our industry is it's a lot of the same people that we see at all these different shows. So it makes it fun, not only just seeing people in different areas, but also getting to work together. So this is a new one for me, checking it out, seeing what it's like, delving into the seafood, not sampling.
Not sampling.
You are the national accounts manager for
go.
GAF. Is it GAF or GAF?
You can say the one. We say GAF. And that's the fun fact. So I did want to ask you guys, what do you think GAF stands for?
What's it stand for?
GAF there's a varied history. It's really interesting. This company started out in the 1800s as a paint company. So our parent company is called Standard Industries.
Okay.
And they've moved through the times. So there's a good chance that you guys have asphaltic shingles that are GAF shingles on your roof. But there was a small time in the 70s and 80s where I know y'all remember the viewfinder. Viewfinder. So they actually were the inventor of the viewfinder. So you have to come by our booth at convention. Yeah, I have one now. I bought it. You know, they sell them at Cracker Barrel.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
I love that.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, so they've been able to move through the times. You know, just keep it up with
General what?
aniline film.
General aniline film.
I never would have got that.
Yeah. So and
I
it's
was
funny,
going good as something roofing.
Oh, F word.
Yeah, F word.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that. That's what it is. That's what I'm going to tell people next time.
You can tell them. Be like, well, we're good as.
That's right. Yeah, so I started out as a consultant. You mentioned that. So I started out civil engineering. I knew I didn't want to design per se, structural engineer. And I was like, that is not me to sit behind a desk and calculate things all day long. Okay. So I started in consulting, and actually I consulted on a cold storage project. And really the problem was that roof to wall interface. And you guys know icicles and condensation. And so that's really how I got my foot in the door, walking around trying to figure out what was going on there. And then I joined GAF in 2020. So I'm technical by nature, which being in the roofing industry, especially in cold storage, it really comes down to the details. So I make sure that we have the right details all the way from design through construction. I love to get on site, walk the job sites, really make sure we've got everything that we need. So keeps it interesting. Like you guys know, get to do a little bit of everything.
What does GAF do? If someone saw your booth at a trade show, what do you do? What are they going to see? What are they going to see? What do you do?
We are a roofing materials manufacturer. So we manufacture TPO, PVC, asphaltic assemblies, as well as the insulation, the polyiso insulation. So that's one half of the business. And then the other half of the business is the residential side, which is shingles, but we really function as two separate companies. So I oversee cold storage for North America for GAF. So just on the flat roofing side of things.
Very cool.
Got it. So are you? No, you go.
No, you
No,
go.
no, no.
Oh, no.
I was going to ask
no.
you a technical question. I'm sure Jenna was going to ask you.
Yeah, it was not
A
technical.
more-
so
more
let's do the technical stuff.
Not to bring up competition, but would your like TPO compete against like Firestone or Carlisle?
It would, yep.
Okay.
So there's a few large manufacturers out there. We're the largest in North America.
Okay. Love that.
And this technical when it comes to cold storage.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like to think that we really try our best in making sure that we're not just selling materials, that
Got
we're
it.
trying to provide the best installation details, the best roofers. Because, with cold storage, the tiniest little miss in a detail, that's where you're going to have all of the problems. So I've worked really hard in building up our program within GAF to make sure that we have the technical knowledge and the technical capability throughout the company, as well as we've rolled out training for our roofers as well. So I spend a lot of time training. So whether it's other designers, training them on the right details, whether it's owners who are interested in maybe it's sustainability or maybe it's energy savings, and all the way down to the installation, making sure that we have the right roofers and that they understand what they need to do in the field so that we have a good installation as well.
I love that you take a cold storage approach to it, because there are so many roofers out there that try to do cold storage and they just absolutely bite the dust trying to do it. And it's so nice to see that you guys champion and focus on the cold storage details. I see GAF on a lot of projects. Most of all our projects, you guys are already on it. That's very cool. Awesome.
What is in your experience probably the most common mistake you see over and over again with these details? Is there a single one or are there multiple, I guess?
I think it's probably just the misconception of what am I really designing for when it comes to cold storage? And you guys know it's really the warm air. We have to keep the warm air out from the cold, because it's when the warm air meets the cold, that's when it condenses.
Yep.
And that's how we get our drips or our icicles. And so it's really hard to design for that when you can't see air. And so the problem is thinking about, how am I going to stop the warm air from coming in? And you guys know too, a lot of times in the field, things that are built, maybe it's slightly different once they get constructed in the field versus what we had anticipated during that design phase. And so really, that's a lot what we bring to the table that's different than other manufacturers, is being that support and saying, all right, let's make sure that we have the right details from the beginning. And then even through construction, working through to make sure that we've got the right details in the field. Because we know the last thing that we want is that call afterwards when they pull down that freezer and we've got icicles in there.
Oh yeah, we don't like those calls.
We don't. And you're right. I mean, our company Freeze is a thermal subcontractor, and we have to coordinate with all the roofers on every one of our projects and make sure that they're marrying our system up the right way. And yeah, there's a lot of coordination that goes there for sure.
Mhm.
A lot of
Absolutely.
teamwork.
You have to. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't know a ton of cold storage roofers. I know probably 3 in our industry. Is there a lot of cold storage specialty roofing like subcontractor companies, or not really?
I like to hold that a little bit close to the vest. There's a lot
you go.
that
like that.
we work with regularly.
Okay.
There are some big multinational ones that can travel. There's a lot of really good ones on that local level.
Okay.
But one of the things that I like to do is when I have a project opportunity, if I'm working with an owner and they say, hey, or a GC, they're bidding out a project, I like to make sure that we have the right roofers. Not saying that somebody who doesn't have that cold storage experience can't learn or can't get it right.
Sure.
But I just like to make sure that they understand what's involved with the specialized details. And I always tell them, you miss the tiniest little thing, it could be a huge problem. So you really have to understand the intricacies with cold storage roofing and how that ties into the panels and into the walls. And, it's more than just throwing insulation and membrane up there. It really is a very specialized building type. And so that's really why GAF decided to build out this vertical and hire me. And they said, we need to make sure that we've got the right people involved and that we really understand what needs to happen. So one thing that we're doing too is we're rolling out specialized contractor training. So even just contractors, roofers that we work with regularly, making sure that they understand what needs to be done, and even the guys in the field, because a lot of times maybe it's the estimator that's estimating a project, and the guy that's actually doing the install may not have seen the most set of drawings. So understanding what needs to be done so that we don't get those calls back later, that's a big part of what we're working toward.
Yeah. Are you guys doing the training at headquarters, or are you guys going traveling to project sites and doing on-site kind of show, tell, teach?
Yeah, we call it trailer training. And so we actually have a mini trailer of all of our roofing materials, and we'll roll up to the roofer's office, and it's everything we need in that one trailer and
That is
unpack for the
awesome.
day. I love doing demos. I think doing hands-on training really is the best thing that you can show anyone. And so what I love to do is have them build a mock-up deck and get
Yes.
IMP panels around the perimeter, and really show them what that install looks like.
The
Have
time.
them take turns. Yeah, putting in the spray foam, putting in the details, putting in that edge, making sure they really understand how the air moves through that system.
Absolutely.
And it's so different when you're doing like an actual mock-up, right? When you're actually creating that, it's to be able to have that visual versus just looking at it like flat design. I think it's more impactful. They can understand why it's so important. That's awesome.
Absolutely. You've been at GAF for how long?
5 years now, a little over 5 years. Yeah. So I came over in
I
2020.
felt like we just met
Crazy
you
time.
yesterday. Yeah,
That's not true.
I know.
So
I'm fine.
did you always see yourself like in this realm of construction, or did this surprise you?
I guess you never really know where you're going to end up, right? I mean, I did engineering in school because I was really good at math, and I wish I had some great story about how I fell into engineering, but I attribute it a lot to my mom. So the family business was an Ace hardware store. And so thinking about women in construction,
Heck yeah.
my mom was the one working the store. That was a family business. And so she was telling all these men and anybody who came into the hardware store what plumbing parts or what electrical parts. She had this great knowledge. And so seeing her lead in that way, when I started applying for schools, I was like, I have no idea what I want to do. And,
Yeah.
my parents, they encouraged me. They said, well, you're really good at math, just do engineering. It's funny, you just never really know where you're gonna end up, and so but it's been really great. I love this industry, and I love that every day is different, and you guys
Mhm.
probably find this a lot too. I love meeting people and
Yeah.
going to a show or working through issues in the field. It's always something interesting.
Mhm.
What has been the biggest obstacle for you as a woman in a heavy male dominant workforce?
Biggest obstacle. I think in some markets, it's still a little bit of a good old boys club to some extent. There's been a lot of people that have been friends for a long time, but I have to say this has been the best experience because I feel like everyone really did welcome me with open arms. And I love that it's that small community because I see the same people
Mhm.
everywhere. And then we get to work again on projects, the last one went good, let's do it again next time. And so it really creates that little family environment where we all get to pick up the phone if there's an issue. And that is a big deal when it comes to construction, being able to have those honest conversations and work out issues before it really becomes a problem.
Mhm. Mhm. Would you have any advice for young women who are maybe considering a career in construction? Any guidance you might want to share?
I think finding your network.
Yeah.
I definitely have a network of women, and it does make a difference. We face different challenges, women in the industry.
Mhm.
And so I think having that network where you can commiserate or collaborate or just say, hey, let me bounce this off of you, or what would you do in this situation? It's nice to have that. So
Mhm.
even if it's not somebody in your direct line of work, but someone who's within that construction industry, I think really does make a difference. Just being able to pick up the phone and let me say, pick your brain on what's going on
Mhm.
over here. So I think that's been a good thing. And GAF, actually, there's a ton of women at GAF. You wouldn't really think it, a roofing manufacturer, but they've done a great job of hiring and keeping women in the workforce. And I think that's huge.
That's amazing.
What's been the most surprising thing about the cold storage construction network and industry?
Surprising thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the surprising thing for me is how everyone seems to know everyone.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Before
Yeah.
I got into cold storage, there was, and I'd cross into different verticals, different markets, but it's definitely, you see the same people everywhere. And, there certainly is new people coming into the industry, but I think just seeing how close everyone is, which I think is really great. I think it goes back to being able to have a successful construction project, right? Because we all know each other. And so even if we're not necessarily working together, it's still, I get to see you guys on the weekly meetings or whatever it is. So that was a little bit surprising to me, just how tight knit everybody is. But I think it's been really great.
It's
Yeah.
been a blessing being in this industry, as you said it. Like what started off as like the good old boys network way back in the day with our industry. It's become much more female, I guess, populated, which is awesome because you guys are all freaking smart as hell.
We're not going to disagree with you.
Great energy, great people to be around, and y'all run circles around all of us. But at the end of the day, it is a family. I mean, like you said, we love the people in the industry, and I think that I guess we try to give back any way we can. I mean, if someone called you that wasn't a roofer and had questions, I promise you probably pick up the phone and say, "Yeah, let me walk you through it." Right?
Sure.
I mean, it's just it's a really, really cool
Yeah,
space.
that willingness to help each other is, I think
Yeah.
that's probably one of the things that surprised me because when you go like certain other industries and things like that, it's competition. Like we don't talk to our competition,
Yeah.
right? I don't really see a lot of that here. I see people willing to collaborate and work together and help each other out and answer questions. And it
Mhm.
does build that family vibe that, okay, we can have these types of conversations.
Yeah.
So
Roofing is for cold storage, is there a lot of energy codes in different states throughout the US where you have to be educated on that? Like if one state is a cooler or freezer, you need this much thickness for energy code versus the other states. Like you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So in terms of energy code, the energy code only addresses base buildings. So it doesn't get into refrigerated spaces in a sense that it's a code requirement. There's code minimums for insulation, and that's probably what you guys are seeing. Generally, freezer spaces or cooler spaces, we would refer to ASHRAE, which is another standard, and they have recommendations for insulation requirements. But that being said, I mean, there's also different requirements when it comes to, do I need a vapor retarder on the deck, or slightly different things within the code. But I think probably the biggest thing to consider is really, how can I use the roof to enhance performance of my building? And I know this is one of the biggest buzzwords, is everybody saying energy is so expensive. What can I do to decrease my energy cost? And I think arguably the thermal envelope is one of the most important things, the roof and the walls. These buildings are so huge, and
Right.
the roof is such a massive piece of that building. If you don't have adequate insulation, I'm a beach girl, and you all know this, in the summertime, I love to spend my summer on the beach. And I always tell everybody, if I leave the lid to my cooler open when I'm sitting on the beach, what happens to my ice inside that cooler?
Exactly.
It's gonna melt. And so thinking about it that way, how can we make sure that our building envelope, our roofing, that we have the right details, the right thermal insulation, because I want to keep my ice on the inside of my cooler and inside my building. And so
right.
if we have temperatures that are being maintained because we have a good thermal envelope, then that means our mechanical equipment isn't going to have to work as hard to maintain those temperatures. So it's ultimately giving you energy savings over the course of that roof life.
Oh, 100%. She uses a different analogy than I do.
I know.
I always tell people about like a soda can. If I take a cold ice Coke soda can and a hot summer day, put it outside on a picnic table, what's it going to do? It's going to sweat, right? So like I have that same analogy when I want to talk about just thermal transfer and not using a double column line versus a double column line. So yeah, I have to use that analogy, and it works.
Well, I think it
I like
makes
the
it.
beach one. I'm stealing the beach corner one.
He likes it. Well, it makes it easier for people to understand, when you put it
Just see
in
it.
those terms,
Yeah.
right? To see it, to be able to put that visual.
So you from Virginia?
I'm from VA, baby.
The VA. That's right. So how close are you to the beach?
I grew up in Virginia Beach. I live outside of DC now, so it's a little bit more of a haul, but we vacation most of the summer in North Carolina. So
Ooh,
I spend a
what
lot
part?
of time in the Outer Banks.
The Outer
Nice.
Banks.
I like that
Yeah.
TV show, The Outer Banks. That was a good show.
Except for it wasn't filmed in North Carolina, which is a little bit
Exactly.
sad.
Right.
It was filmed in South Carolina, and people always tell me we went to the Outer Banks because of the show, and there's no Spanish moss and palm trees there. And I'm like, yeah, they
Mhm.
embellished a little bit when
That's
they
right.
filmed
Here.
When I went to Wilmington, North Carolina for work a long time ago, I was like walking through and like I ran into this sign in downtown that says like all the movies they film there. They film a lot of movies in Wilmington, North Carolina, which I didn't know.
Oh, I
Dawson's
didn't know
Creek.
that.
Uh-oh.
Dawson's
go.
Creek.
Yes. I was like, that's
Oh,
cool.
man.
I know.
Taking us
Yeah.
back. Taking us back,
Taking
babe.
us back. Yeah.
90s.
That's
Love
Well,
it.
Kristin, we always ask each of our guests if they have a cool story,
Mm.
a cool moment, a cool project,
Yeah.
something that you have experienced that we can add the word cool to in your career. You have one you want to share?
For me, it's coming full circle where if I'm involved with a project and the design, working with the designer, making sure we have the right details, the right roofing assembly, working through that submittal process with our roofers, making sure that they understand what they need to do, pulling in that training aspect all the way down to the installation, where I mentioned I still love to walk the roof and just seeing that come all the way through design into real life. And when they turn on that Fraser, everything is perfect and we don't have any issues and we've been able to work through it in open communication with all of the project teams. That first project that I did that's when I thought, wow, this is really the way that all of these projects should go. Get in early with the design, communicate with everyone, and then walking away from that project knowing that everybody feels good about it.
Yeah, that is cool.
Very cool.
Well, tell us a little bit more about GAF. So you have your residential, you have your commercial. What are some things that y'all are excited about for the company?
We are moving into other verticals. So really cold storage, when they brought me along, we said, all right, this is going to be a first foray into having a dedicated person into some of these verticals where it's a little bit more involved on the design side, on the installation side, really understanding the details. So we now have a data center person. We have a lot of big box projects that we're working on, retail, hospitality. So that's really the next step, is having a dedicated team for each of these verticals. And that way, especially because each one is a little bit different. You know, everybody thinks roofing is roofing, and it is to some extent, but each building type is going to have something that's slightly different than a different building type. And so making sure that we have that knowledge and that training and that capability is really the next step for us.
Is the technology at all changing with membranes? Let's start there. Membranes, then getting into like that roofing installation itself. Is that technology progressing? Has it been the same? You don't see it changing? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
It's definitely moving towards the single ply. So if you think about projects 50 years ago, that was all asphaltic. That was built up roofing. Now everything, especially with cold storage, you see it's just about TPO, PVC, big white roofs. And that technology has been around for a while. What I am saying is that there's more of an emphasis on sustainability, energy savings, as well as thinking about performance of the roof. It's such an expensive thing to replace over time. And so thinking about your roof as a capital asset, how can I use this to save energy? How can I extend the life of my roof instead of putting in a 15 or 20-year roof? We actually have guarantees up to 35 years. And so thinking about maybe that upfront cost, does it make sense to put in a higher performing system at the beginning? You can almost get 2 life cycles out of that one roof. The other thing that I'm seeing a lot more, and you guys probably get asked this, is sustainability is something that people are asking about. And so we do have a product in our insulation. It's called non-halogenated insulation. And so you guys might be familiar with the red list. Any chemicals that fall on this red list, if you're in certain jurisdictions, you can't use materials that fall on that red list.
Yes.
So we have
Seemingly
this
spray foam and stuff.
non-halogenated product And what that does is it removes the red list chemicals. And so
Wow.
right now, GAF is the only manufacturer that is offering that at no additional cost. So we're able
Right.
to provide, they feel strongly about being a leader in sustainability, which I think
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
So
Is
that's
that
one
something
thing
you
that we're
guys can just
putting on.
move to across the board? Are you compromising the integrity of the product at all doing that? Or is that something you guys
Yeah.
just said, you know what, let's just make that the standard?
Make it the standard. And so the GAF is really great about being the leader in sustainability and saying, you know, let's be first and offering this at no additional cost for sustainability. You know, a lot of times people hear sustainable and they think, oh, it's going to cost me more money.
Yeah.
But this is a way that you can remove your red list items and it's the same cost as standard insulation. So we're really paving the way.
There
Absolutely.
you are.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah. So how many trade shows or conferences do you go to a year?
Maybe 10.
Oh,
I feel like not
I
as
feel like
many
that's
as
almost
you would
once a
think.
month.
Yeah, it is. This time of the year is busy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Probably, yeah, maybe 10, maybe less than 10.
Yeah.
But it's not, you know, and you guys know you could spend your whole year just traveling from trade
Yes.
show to trade
Yeah.
show. And so there's a few that I make sure I attend every year. And then there's some new ones that I check out and see, does this one make sense to come back for next year? Is it the right customer that I need to get in front of?
Mhm.
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Probably convention or SIBA. Love the
Yeah.
GCCA.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
that's
love the
good
NAMP
to
events too. Icon Cold
Yeah.
is always a great event.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which one
Yeah.
do
I mean, that's
you guys like?
probably mine. I mean, I'm probably SIBA, then Icon, then GCCA.
Mhm.
In that order. Don't get mad at me, y'all, but in that order. In that order. Yeah, absolutely. How do we find you on social media? Do
Mhm.
you want to be found on social media?
That's
Do
the
you have a
question.
Twitter? Do you want to just keep it all GAF, or like, hey, I want people to find me? Are you out there like professionally, like doing public speaking?
Just on my LinkedIn. Right now is just LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I got a pretty good following on the
Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
That's right. Okay. So LinkedIn, right on. And
And
then
where do people go if they want to learn more about what GAF is doing?
I always say Google GAF cold storage. Sometimes it can be hard to go through our website, but
Okay.
just Google
Good to know.
GAF cold storage. Yeah, we've got all of our details, all of our information just on one page. So once you find that, it's all there.
I almost made a joke of that because you said Google GAF cold storage. Like I thought, like if you Google GAF right now, like something really bizarre comes up. Like no, don't GAF cold storage. You got to write that in there.
GAF cold storage.
No, now I'm Googling GAF to see what comes
You're
up.
Googling.
Huh?
Never mind.
I delete my browser history.
That's a different conversation.
He's gonna go looking for the viewfinder.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. That's probably one of the funniest lines ever in a movie, though. And hey, if I die, just delete my browser history. Sorry, I had to bring it up. It's too funny.
Yeah.
It is funny.
Oh boy.
This episode is brought to you by Iceberg Mechanical, a nationwide leader in commercial and industrial refrigeration solutions.
From design and installation to service and maintenance, Iceberg Mechanical delivers reliable, energy-efficient systems for cold storage facilities coast to coast.
Iceberg Mechanical, keeping it cool every step of the way. So back in the day, Kristin, I used to sell doors in cold storage and cold storage high-speed doors, and no one really knew what that was. And so I would always like my friends or family at like Christmas or whatever, be like, what do you do? And I'm like, I try to tell them what I do, and they had no idea what I did. So they thought I sold like garage doors on houses. So when people ask you what you do they think you're just a roofer?
Oh yeah. Well, I love telling people I'm a roofer because usually the look on their face.
Yes.
Yeah. Like what?
I love that.
You're a roofer? That's interesting.
Mhm.
Do you think we live in a world where the membrane is going to be like have little solar lines inside of it and be like capture energy, but also be a vapor barrier?
That would be cool. Actually, GAF were the first on the residential side. They have a solar shingle. So very similar to what you're saying. Traditional solar sits on top of the roofing assembly.
Yep.
Mhm.
So this would be on the residential side. There's shingles. So you don't have to put regular shingles. These
Yeah.
solar shingles actually take in the UV from the sun and you don't have to have separate shingles on the roof. So they're already working that on the residential side. Yeah, I think there's a lot of possibility on the commercial side.
Is there a Kristin GAF like a savings code online I can put in to get that?
You just call me later. We'll work something out.
Yeah, code GAF. Good as
No.
nope. Too soon. Sorry, I get a little carried away.
Yes, we're all aware.
All right, I wanna learn more about you with my this or that questions, but I'm gonna go off my questions right now. You're from Virginia. You travel the U.S. doing your deal. What do you do for fun?
I love to go to the beach.
Mhm.
I actually married into a ski family, so we ski a few times. Yeah. Are you a
Let's
snowboarder
go.
or a skier?
We're skiers.
Ski. What do you do?
Skiers?
You look
Okay,
like a
ski.
snowboarder.
I ski. Nope, I
Oh
ski.
gosh. Okay.
Love it.
I love it. Same.
I'm a skier. I did
Okay.
buy some really cool snowboard pants one year because I do feel like the snowboard pants are a lot cooler in patterns
Mhm.
than the
That's
ski
right.
pants.
That's right.
You're not wrong.
So we snowboard. We like to travel. Love to
Where's
cook.
your favorite beach?
We have a house in Duck, North Carolina, so I have to give a shout out to Duck. If y'all have ever had the original Duck donuts,
Yes.
that's from Duck, North Carolina.
That's
Yup.
amazing. I love that.
So Jenna and I bought matching onesies, ski onesies. You see that?
Oh
They're
my
like
God.
American flag
I
students.
love
It's a
that.
full on like it's
Full on white suit with
It's a-
stars and stripes all over it.
yeah, that's right. It's a full on one piece onesie. That's American
God,
flag.
that's
You look like Edo
amazing.
Knievel out there. So every year we buy these ski suits from Shinesea or what's the other brand? Is that just that's it?
That's where we buy it.
And they do like one year we did like the hot tub time machine
Mm-hmm.
retro suits that like were like neon colors and stuff.
But it was really cute. This little boy this year stopped us and goes, "Were you in the Olympics?" And I was like,
Where?
"Oh no, honey,
No,
not when you see me out there. No,
no,
no way."
not in the Olympics.
I love that. A new onesie. That's what I need. A new
Yeah,
onesie.
the onesies are so fun.
They're
Yeah.
fun, and you don't lose each other. Like when
No.
we don't lose each other in the sea of everyone that's out there. We can always find each other. So
No,
It's
I
true.
know.
Everybody always wears black and blue and
Mhm.
red.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a
Exactly.
great idea.
Yep.
Because I did one year. This is a fun fact. So we always ski Whistler every year. We always go to Canada and ski Whistler.
Cool. Okay.
And
I heard
I'm
that
very
place is awesome.
comfortable. It is. If you have not been there, you definitely need to go there.
Okay.
And it's funny because I actually don't really like the cold weather. You'd think being in cold storage, I would be a cold weather person, but really
Same.
skiing is the only time I like the cold weather.
Same.
But we got separated. So I love a blue groomer. I can get down the black diamonds if I really have to. I actually prefer a little bit steeper if it's not as crowded. I don't, the people make me a little nervous when they go 100 miles per hour and they're out of control.
Yes.
So I was following who I thought was our family, but everybody looks the same. I need them to get in their onesies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I took a wrong turn and went down some crazy black diamond by myself. And I was like, it's fine. I made it. I
Wow.
survived. But
Damn.
we got to get those onesies and I make sure I'm following the right people.
With moguls, I can't do moguls. They hurt my knees.
Mm,
They're exhausting.
yeah. I'm more of a.
I can get down. They're not my favorite, but I can. do
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, I can get down them, but I don't want to.
I won't. I quit.
Yeah. How long you been skiing?
I started skiing. I was probably 12 or 14.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go, like I said, we go to Whistler once a year usually.
Heck yeah.
I guess.
East Coast doesn't have the best skiing. We just go out west.
Right.
I was just talking to Sean Gilbert at Saxon. He said he goes, Vermont has a ton of snow and he skis in
Yeah,
Vermont.
apparently it's all in the east this year.
Yeah. Well, it's or the Midwest or
Yeah. The mountains don't have a lot right now.
no, or it's in California at Mammoth.
Mammoth. Yeah.
That's it. Outside of that, like it's the snow sucks. Like I've been to Colorado 3 times this year and I went in January, February, and March. And there was almost zero snow on the mountains surrounding the ski hill, and all the snow
my
on the ski hill was about man-made.
It was crazy.
It was bad.
Oh
It's
my
a really
God.
bad
Was
year.
it
It's like the worst.
icy too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
icy
the
in the
worst.
morning, soft and slushy in the afternoon. Like it's not great. So,
Mm.
yeah, it was a bad year. Probably the worst year in like 15 years for snow. So, which is bad.
We looked good.
but we look good.
I love that. That's what's important.
Yeah. For me, nothing beats having like a cup or bowl of chili on the hill and
Here
a
we go.
margarita or beer. I like them out.
I can't. I have to have my flask in my pocket.
Oh, what's in your
Look
flask?
at you.
I love a bourbon in the ski lift. You know, it warms me up.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. A little
I
bourbon.
just learned a
Oh,
new
yeah.
trick.
The flask is a good idea.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Great.
Taking
I'm
that.
gonna be carrying
Makes
Jenna
the
down
most
the hill.
sense.
Carrying her down the hill on that one.
We'll see.
Oh, that's exciting. Dude, skiing's so fun. I love it.
Let's get
So-
to know her more. I want to know some of what she thinks of these.
Well, she said she married into ski. When did you get married?
2013.
Us too.
Us too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
May 6th.
Okay, we're August.
Love.
Very cool. Kids?
August 10th. 2 girls.
Mm.
They're 7 and gonna be 7 and 9. I had to think about that. We're growing fast.
They grow fast. Very fast.
Very, very cool.
Awesome.
Well, that's exciting. See, I didn't know that either. Love that. Okay, I will get in the questions now. Are you ready for this? We're going to learn more about you.
You ready? Come on.
More than what guests already know about you. Real quick though, before we start, we do want to thank all the sponsors, Kristin, that like help support the show, and they're fantastic. And if you're watching or listening now, thank you. And continue watching us on YouTube and listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And the long history.
Socials.
Follow us on the socials, on all of them,
Mhm.
all 4 major socials. So, alrighty, let's get to know you a little bit more, this or that. All right, pre-construction meeting at 7 a.m. or client dinner at 7 p.m.
Client dinner at 7 p.m.
Text or phone call?
I'm good with either one, but do I have to pick one? I'm gonna say pick up the phone. That's easier.
There you go, like that. Want to teach a construction class or mentor someone one-on-one?
Well, I'm teaching the SEBA Pro, so I got to give a shout out to the SEBA Pro classes.
You go.
Yes.
Love that. The next one's a giveaway. A
Giveaway.
beach vacation or a mountain getaway.
Beach vacation all day, baby.
Tell your husband that. He might be mad at you. I like that.
We ski for him and make sure he gets in his ski time.
That's right.
Beach for you.
That's
I
right.
like it.
I love that.
Balance.
I love that. Are you early bird or late night?
Late
Grinder.
night.
Late night?
Grinder.
Always late night.
Okay. When you do a Teams call, are you camera on or camera off?
I like to have the camera on.
Yeah. Very cool. Alrighty. Are you a project kickoff meeting person or a project closeout celebration person?
Well, I run all of cold storage, so I've got it from start to finish. But I love a good celebration at the end to make sure
That's
that
right. When it's all done and buttoned
when it's
up
all
and,
done.
and no leaks.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. No leaks.
Mm-hmm. So this is going to be completely anything topic. It can not even be related to cold storage, but this is not a this or that question, but I love asking it. If you could teach a TED talk on anything at all, what would it be?
Teach a TED talk.
Yeah.
Or give
Well,
a TED talk.
I gotta stick with cold storage roofing.
Okay.
Yeah.
TED talk on cold storage roofing. I like
I
that.
like
That
it a
works.
lot.
That works. All right. If you had an unlimited budget for a personal passion project of yours, what would it be?
Probably something to do with beach cleanup. So I'll give you all a fun story. We try to go to the beach once a month. I need that. I call it vitamin C, SEA, in my life.
I like
Okay.
it.
So we went down there, we did a beach walk, and actually it was interesting because we've had all this cold weather, these Arctic blasts. It's been crazy
Yes.
this year. So
Right.
there was all of these dead fish all over the beach because they got stunned in the water, and so they washed up on the beach, and
no.
which was kind of gross. But then we found a hurt bird on the beach, and I said, let's do our good deed for the day. And we called in I don't even know what they're called. It wasn't animal control, but there's like a beach
Mhm.
animal people that come in and they save the animals that are hurt on
Yeah.
the beach.
Yeah.
And then similarly, we're members of the North Carolina Aquarium. And so they always foster the sea turtles. So I love to go in there. The girls love to go in there. We look at all the sea turtles, and especially the ones that are cold stunned or hit by a boat or hurt for whatever reason. And so we donate to that. And I love to see that we're giving back to the beach and giving back to nature.
I
How would
love
one
that.
donate to that
Yeah.
foundation?
It's just through the North Carolina Aquarium Society.
Love
So
it.
I'm sure probably any aquarium would have that. But
Yeah.
so we have a membership, and then we go check out the sea turtles. It's a really cool
Which
thing.
are so cool to see.
And they're huge. If you've
Yes.
never seen one, yeah.
They're massive.
Yep. Yep.
So I love it.
If
Ooh.
you could see one thing change in this industry over the next 10 years, what would it be?
Y'all are asking me all
Everyone
the
use
hard
a
questions.
GAF. Everyone use a GAF roof system.
These are some thought-provoking questions.
It's
They
not like
are.
it's not like I asked her what she thought of vapor armor.
I love vapor armor.
So
I think
do
if I had to, if I had to see one thing change in the industry, I think it would be thinking about design and construction as something that can be sustainable and energy savings and more than just building this cold storage for one time, get it done, move to the next thing. I think it would
Yeah.
be thinking about it holistically. How can we make this better? How can it be more energy efficient? And
Yes.
how can we make it better for the next generation? So I think it
Yes.
goes back into that, maybe putting solar on the roof or thinking about the sustainable insulation and
Sure.
kind of thinking about all of our building materials as being more than just a building material and making our systems really work best for us and these buildings as we move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I would love to see a building lifespan last longer than 30, 40 years,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. My last this or that question, it's actually a this or that question. Now I'm circling back to it. Grand finale, Yellowstone or Landman?
Yellowstone.
Ooh, good. Everyone's been going.
I
Landman.
love all of them. There's so many of those different spin-offs.
I know.
So many.
1923.
Right.
We just finished
that one.
1920. We
I
just
love
finished
that one.
1923.
It was so good.
So good. That Spencer guy's awesome.
Ah,
He's literally
enjoy
my favorite
watching
character in all those shows. He's so good.
the good one.
So good.
It's a good one. Very entertaining shows. That's for sure. It's hard to pick a favorite.
It is.
I love it. Well, Jenna, sign us off.
Kristin, thank you so much for joining us, for taking the time to come on and share about what GAF and y'all are doing. And until next time.
That was your sign off?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't do sign off. You do sign off.
One time I did like deuces, and she's like, no, we're not doing that. No.
You're doing.
Is there anything you would like to add or share before we sign you off, Kristin?
Call me next time you guys need a roof.
We will.
I love that.
And thank you for having me. It's always good to see you guys.
Yeah, great to see you, and congratulations on all your success. We're seeing you guys all over the place, and you guys just do a kick-ass job. So excited for your company and you,
And to work together.
Love that. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And to all our listeners, thank you guys so much. You guys are the reason we do this.
Mhm.
And until next time, see ya.